Offense has been a little bit of a struggle for you guys the last couple weeks. Seemed like you found something there in that first half. What did you like about that area of the court, I guess, in the first couple quarters?
Yeah, I thought that we had good pace. The ball was moving. One of those 77 plays, we run a double drag for Melo. He comes off, and he does a good job of like just hitting the seam, and then the seam guy kicks it out. He ends up getting a three at the end of the possession. But I just thought the pace, the purpose was great to start the game, and it's just got to stay that way. We have to be able to sustain those type of momentum type things offensively.
Second game in a row, the opposing turnover count was pretty low and only scored 2 points off their six. Is there any particular reason why you thought it was so low again?
No, I don't think any particular reason. Like Minnesota does a pretty good job, I guess, of taking care of the ball. I thought that we were pretty solid in some of our coverages, but the coverage execution and the communication can be a little bit tighter at times. Outside of our turnover rate could be low sometimes. It's not anything the other team is doing. It's just like the ability to hold your man off and get a catch and not allow some of the deflections. And so credit to them for taking care of the ball tonight. I put it on two things. I think sometimes an indecision, and that comes with like just needing more reps, needing more reps just in general. We have some guys that obviously haven't played a ton of NBA minutes, and then played a ton of NBA minutes together. And so I think that when you're indecisive, it holds you back from like saying, "Hey, red, we're switching," or center field. And then the guy on the ball has to understand sometimes there's two coverages going on. And, like, you might switch one pick and roll, but then the next guy comes up, you got to be in center field, and you got to work your way over and realize you're on Edwards now because he wants to shoot threes. And so I think just continued reps to be a little bit just more decisive and aggressive and not be on our heels as much sometimes too. So I think that we'll continue to get better with just more reps.
You talked pregame about you want to see the guys drive, get downhill a little bit like you saw on Monday night. Damian Ball came in the game and did that. Miles Bridges started out the game, tried to get downhill. What did you see from those two guys specifically on offense, really at the beginning of the game when you wanted them to, follow those teaching points you talked about?
Yeah, the great carryover by both guys. Miles is really good at, I think, being able to attack certain matchups and understanding who's in front of him and using his body. And then Damian, same type of thing. If they're going to switch or they're going to go under in pick and rolls, I think he's got such a great burst to be able to get a piece of the paint. And so, both guys did a great job. Even again, just like sharing the ball a little bit, 26 assists on 42 made field goals. Getting to the free throw line a little bit more. So like there's definitely some positives to the offense. It's just converting and taking a little bit better care of the ball.
Coach, I don't want to sound like a broken record here, but you talked about needing to sustain the level of play that you had in the first quarter. Miles told us the same thing before. Marcus said the same thing. At what point do you tell the team does this keep happening game in, game out?
Yeah, I think that number one, you have to credit the other team. Sometimes they maybe are able to just find a rhythm for whatever reason it is. Sometimes I do think it's our lack of conversion on offense sometimes. I think definitely, especially for young players and just this team in general, I think we get focused a little bit too much on just the offensive side of the ball. And so we let some of the, a missed layup or a transition turnover heavily affect us too much. And then it hurts our defensive side of the ball. Even a couple times tonight, I just thought that there was, good offensive process, unfortunate result, good defensive process on the other end, and then you give up an offensive rebound. And some of those plays I think kind of can hurt your spirit at times, and so we just got to continue to just stick with it. The team continues to fight, but I think on every possession we have to continue to fight too, and not have these long lulls during a game.
You have three centers. They all play the game pretty differently. They all bring different strengths and weaknesses. How do you go about riding the hot hand? Like Musa came in the game today, had a couple of big offensive rebounds, scored quickly. So how do you kind of balance the hot hand approach versus kind of going with the rotations you're playing on going into the game?
Yeah, I think just feel of the game. I think every matchup creates a different scenario for each big because, like you said, they each are like a different pitch and they have different specialties. But all three, really good. Really impactful in their own way. And so tonight was one of those nights where I thought that all of a sudden we need a little bit more juice, some offensive rebounding, a little bit of defensive versatility with some of their shooting lineups. And so Musa kind of gave us that. And then so kind of found other moments throughout the game to go with him. But I know every game is going to present something different, and so it's really nice to have all three of those bigs who are really dependable.
Charles, based off of Rob's question earlier, with lineups, Jeremy's with kind of the same, reiterating the same points, are you pleased with the effort level of your team at this point in the season?
I am. It's very easy. I think it would be very easy to sometimes lay down when you're in the position that you are, but like we are obsessed with daily improvement, and part of daily improvement is going into every game and facing a different type of opponent, different strategy, different coverages, different matchups, and adjusting and adapting. And they've done a really good job of doing that. Again, if we can limit some of these long stretches where we go into a lull. But overall, like you come back in that fourth quarter, you lose it by a point after having a tough third quarter. But I thought that the guys, like, again, won the second quarter after a tough first quarter. So, like, that just shows you right there that the effort level, the competitiveness is still where it needs to be. And I think that it's going to just continue to be good.